Welcome back to our series, everybody, the 10 Commandments of Better Pet Parents. These are 10 things that all the better pet parents out there have in common, and today we're talking about number 5 on the list, which is that better pet parents respect their pet's personality and preferences. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that. I was not an athletic kid. I'm not an athletic adult. Exercise is an obligation for me. So if when I was a kid, my parents had me go out on a 5-mile hike with them every day, I would not have enjoyed that, and that would not have been fun for me, and that would not have been something that aligned with my personality. So I just want each and every one of you, as we have this discussion, to think about an example for yourself. Think about something that you really don't like to do, and think about what it would be like if you were made to do that activity on a repetitive basis without ever really being able to say that you prefer not to do it. So this is something that's really important on the list of things that make a better pet parent. I really think that the better pet parents out there are giving this conscious thought. They're aware of this. Every animal is a unique individual with unique likes and dislikes and preferences, and it's so important to nurture their personality in the right way and to not ask them to do things that they don't want to do. Now, I'm going to clarify what I mean by that. So we're not talking about how they'll sometimes have to do things that they don't want to do. I'm a professional mobile dog groomer, so it's a big joke in my life that when the dogs that are in my clientele see that big white van pull in their driveway, a lot of them go and hide underneath the bed or run out the doggy door because they know when they see me that I'm going to make them take a shower. So we're not talking about how they'll sometimes have to do things that they don't want to do. We're not talking about how we'll sometimes have to make them take medicine that they don't want to take. We're talking about lifestyle choices. We are also not talking about how, let's say that you are training a new puppy. Let's say you have a puppy and that puppy is really demonstrating that they don't like other dogs and that the socialization isn't going well. Okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with trying to enforce better behavior from an early age. So we're also not talking about being so firm in this ideal that we don't try to correct negative behaviors or try to enforce positive behaviors. So we're not talking about that. We're simply talking about how you actively spend the quality time in your pet's life, the activities you ask them to do for fun, and how you just pay attention to how they prefer to spend their downtime. So it's just so important to know that you're watching their body language, that you pay attention to what they seem to enjoy and what they don't seem to enjoy, and that you're making adjustments accordingly. It's also very important if you're just somebody who's considering taking in an animal into your home, that you really give a lot of consideration to which animal is going to be right for your personality, because they are all unique individuals. And you want to get one that aligns with your lifestyle. So for example, I have a sister who lives in the city, and she and her active dog go and walk around miles in the city. They go to the lake in Chicago, and they have a big time doing that. And that's something that aligns with his interests and hers. And then, for example, you know, my pet, we talked about this in another video, he loved to travel with me. That was something that we enjoyed doing. We went everywhere together. But there are certainly dogs out there who hate car rides and don't want to travel. And, you know, it's just so important that the activities that we do with them are things that they want to do and that they enjoy. And I do just want to stress too that if you are somebody that's considering taking in a new animal, so let's say that you go and visit an animal at a shelter, and that animal has had a history of being very nervous, or has maybe shown some signs of aggression or had some kind of unfortunate background. that might not be the right pet for somebody that has really young children, but that might be the perfect pet for somebody who spends a lot of time in a more quiet environment, who really has the space and the environment to work with that animal and bring that animal out of its shell, and offer an appropriate comfort zone. So again, making sure that if you're considering taking in an animal, that you're actively researching which one is right for you, and that if you already have an animal, that you're actively paying attention to their body language, and when they are having a good time, when they're not having a good time. It's important to pay attention to when they need space. Sometimes, we're giving them too much attention and they really want to rest and kind of have their own space, things like that. We just want to make sure that how we're spending our time with them aligns with what they need and want and enjoy. It's also really important to note that as our animals age, those preferences might evolve, those preferences might change. Just like people, they slow down and they lose energy. And as they age, they just might not want to do the things that they wanted to do when they were little. And making sure that we always have an empathetic view of that, and that we adapt accordingly to what our animals need over the course of their lifespans. If let's say that you guys did used to be really athletic together, but your pet is slowing down, taking a look around and figuring out what you can do at home together, what activities you can do at home together that might be able to take the place of some of those older activities that your pet can no longer do. It's just so important to stay active in their lives and spend as much quality time with them as we can in the ways that they prefer to spend their time as unique individuals. So this week I want us to give special thought to this topic. Spend some quality time with your pet. And like I say every week, thank you so much for being one of the better pet parents out there who would consider a topic like this. And we will see you next week as we talk about number 4 on the list. See you then. Thanks.